Hello, and you join us live for the second Effing F1 show from the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, live on the Jazz Network. What a race! We've been watching the whole race, which I hope you guys have as well. There's so much to talk about, and it's going to be an epic finish, I think, as well, with what's going on. I'm Rhysage, and I'm joined once again by Duff.
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome if it's your first time.
Yes, absolutely. And please bring friends and join in the chat. We're going to have a poll for our effing racer of the day. Bear in mind, the last week's effing racer of the day is currently leading the race by 4.1 seconds. Mr. Pierre Gasly himself.
So well picked last week.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think we're turning into an omen for them. So
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
And you can vote by typing !vote and then a space and the short name of your choice. So Lewis, Bottas, Verstappen. Please don't pick Lewis because he doesn't deserve it. He's been a very naughty boy, and he's currently working his way back up the field. One of the things we thought it might be fun for us to do is to put in the chat what position you think Lewis is going to get up to. So he's currently 15th. He's 23 seconds off the lead. I'm going to go. I think he's going to place.
Really? I have a horrible feeling he's going to make it into the top three.
Oh God! Could you imagine?
I think a second and a half a lap is only going to take 16 to 17 laps for him to get up there. So
yeah, he's going to be going.
We'll see. Isn't he? I think a lot of people will just pull out for him. Unfortunately,
yeah, and he's got full-on party mode, no doubt. I would imagine.
Yep.
Because
unofficial party mode.
Yes. All they're doing, for those that are wondering, is they've all got the full engine modes on, but rather than driving it really hard, they're just short shifting, so they're not using the full range of revs that's there. So in some ways, I think it's better, Duff, because it's down to the driver to manage it.
Yeah, that was the whole point of taking them away, though, wasn't it? So there's more the drivers than the engineers.
Definitely. So now, if you know as like the driver you've got 5 laps of it, then you have to use that. So it comes back a bit like the old boost they had.
Yeah, the old KERS boost.
KERS, that's the one. Yeah, and so you had to be clever how you use that. Oh, Bottas has just got up to 5th. We're just saying that Bottas is missing a massive chance here, isn't he? So,
yes, yeah, definitely. He seems to have got some sort of fighting spirit back.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first lap when he thought he had a puncture, and he was he was complaining about it, wasn't it? And then they said, "Oh, your tires are good," but he just hasn't had the pace.
No, not at all. Afternoon, Captain Brilliant. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're wondering, the stuff we have on the screen is from a Planet F1. So thanks to them for keeping everyone else up to date as well on what's happening and what the grid order is.
Absolutely. So he's still in 15th. He's struggling to get past Albon. Sainz, according to Amazon, Sainz will catch Gasly in 8 laps.
Wow!
Thank you, Amazon. He's
got it on Prime delivery.
Yeah, he's going to send it on Prime down the inside. And I think those Amazon insights are really useful. They've been really good.
Yeah.
And they're usually about right, actually, quite worryingly. It's they're not normally far off.
But how nice will it be to have a McLaren on the top step of the podium? God.
Oh, I'd love that. I would love that today. I mean,
will this be their first time in orange, or this orange on the top of the podium?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Previous orange, they obviously, I guess they must have been, but it'll be the first time in this orange. So, that'd be fun.
That'd be great.
I mean, if Norris can get his act together, he can't seem to be able to catch Stroll by the looks of it.
No, was he about 3 seconds behind?
Yeah, give or take.
It's a shame.
It is a shame because
well done to Stroll though, and their strategy.
Yeah, I mean,
considering after the restart, he was pretty terrible.
Yeah, he left it with that free pit stop, didn't he? I think. And,
yes. Oh yes.
That one you can you can call it luck, I guess, but they chose to stay out, didn't they? And then there was another safety car which brought him back into it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure they'll claim it was good strategy. So, oh yes, we're meant to do that. We're meant to do that.
And yeah, only one Red Bull left on the grid, and they're 14th, and Alex Albon.
It's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
As much as I like Albon, and with him being 90% British, whatever you want to call it, he is struggling, isn't he? I think. And
yes. Yeah, definitely.
I wonder how long it will be before the Red Bull axe lands on him.
I can't see him being back there next season, unfortunately. Not currently. Not with a stronger young driver program as they have.
Yeah, I would have stuck Hulk in it, but obviously they're gonna. I guess Gasly is probably favourite to go back into it, isn't he?
Yeah. Especially on the result if he gets first here.
Oh yeah,
that's a massive sort of green flag for them to take him back next season.
Of course, there was another famous ex Red Bull driver that won in it was a Toro Rosso then, but it's basically the same thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mr. Vettel did the same thing.
First person to leave today's race.
Yes, and didn't he do a good job of murdering those innocent polystyrene bollards?
Spectacular fashion there, leaving in a blaze of polystyrene.
I thought he just missed the corner, but then obviously on the replay you could see because if he'd missed it, he'd have been weaving around there, wouldn't he? But obviously,
yeah.
Oh,
that's a funky shot of the helicopter,
isn't it? Because there's only one helicopter, isn't it? So that was a good shot. What have we got now? Where's Lewis? Oh, he's still only 15th. He's a couple of tenths behind. So interesting to see. You'd think it'd be mincemeat down straights, but he's got it. There we go.
Just speaking it up all the way along.
Yeah. Must be the new Murray Walker with the commentator's curse, perhaps.
Albon off again.
Yep. See, there's always that question: did he only keep the position because he went off the track?
Yeah.
I mean, Lewis has already been to the steward once today. So perhaps he wants to go back again.
Yeah.
And have another chat. I still think that's really weird to go to the steward during the race.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think he'd be allowed.
Considering most drivers stayed in their car.
Yeah, Bottas just sort of sat there chilling. A couple of them got out, but I think it was a bit extreme. I certainly don't remember that happening before.
No.
It was, we got left 12 laps left on my stream. Somebody might be a couple of laps ahead potentially.
Don't forget to vote for driver of the day as well.
Yes, absolutely. Because they might just win the race next week.
Exactly.
That would be funny. I mean, Sainz can't seem he's not catching him at the rate I thought he would.
No, 2.7 second gap.
Yeah. Stroll doesn't seem to be able to do anything about Sainz either. That's 0.7 as well. Where's Lando? He's staying there, isn't he? By the looks of it. But,
Lewis Hamilton's on a roll of it now.
That's 13th, and he's got 3 seconds to make up to get Grosjean in 12th, isn't he? By the looks of it. Little sort of mini shout out for Latifi, who's holding it together in 11th there as well. How nice would it be for Williams to get a point today?
Yeah, that would be great.
With everything going on and the Williams family
fighting closely with Perez, which is brilliant.
That'd be great if you could nip a point. I mean, I'd probably sacrifice Ocon or Kvyat or someone like that to get Williams a point.
Yeah, definitely. To be fair, at the moment with this season, even Ricciardo.
Yeah. Why not? Or let's get rid of Stroll and put Norris on the podium.
Yeah, perfect.
Everyone's happy then. Perhaps Daddy can buy him a trophy instead.
Maybe it could be like Formula E, and we can boost someone.
Yeah. Fan boost.
Yeah.
So where we go. Don't get me started on Formula E. But there goes Lewis. Around Roman, I'm going to whine all day Grosjean.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys if you're wondering why we've got such a random grid order at the moment, we had a massive crash from Charles Leclerc, being the second Ferrari to have major brake issues, and then went slamming into the wall, causing a red flag, and now we've got some amazing grid positions.
Hello, Captain Sarah. Nice of you to join us. Yeah. Yes, if you want to have a look at the crash, that is a good crash to watch. I mean, obviously he's all right. He walked away from it, which is testament to modern Formula 1.
His own words. That was a big crash.
It certainly was. I'd be interested to see what the G was on it, as any impact. As I reckon that hurt.
Oh God, yeah. Looks as though the halo helped again as well.
Yeah, because he was in the barrier, wasn't he?
Yeah,
so it does make a difference. That it stops the tires in the barrier landing on your head and stuff. So that's probably a good thing for him, anyway. Yeah. Just in case you're wondering how to vote, you just put an exclamation mark, the word vote, space, and then the name of who you think should be our F1 racer of the day. Got a couple of minutes left yet, I think, just to get your votes in. I see Jez has voted for Sainz, which is a solid vote. Although I think it's going to be hard to look past the leader if Gasly does win this. He's got another 10 laps to last. 2.5 seconds here, Duff. What do you think? What's your prediction? Is he going to do him?
Yes.
Oh, I like that prediction. That's
always
exactly
spice this up. Yes, definitely.
I'd love to see a McLaren win today. I mean, like I said, we were never going to get a Williams win, but this would be the next best thing for me personally.
Yes, yeah. Having a good British team win it would be amazing.
And potentially Lewis finishing out of the points is also a bit of a bonus.
Yeah, although he's slowly closing.
Got Latifi up next, by the looks of it.
I mean, to be fair, since the restart, Raikkonen was second, third. He's already down to 8th.
Yeah, that Alpha's not quick, is it?
No, not at all.
Where's Giovinazzi's last?
Yeah, after his stop go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he had stop go, didn't he? Good point. So that's the Renault is where they 6th and 7th. So they were looking poor, weren't they, at the start? But they've got themselves back into decent points.
Yeah,
now as well,
which is nice to see. And they're still getting beat by their customer team, though, in McLaren.
Yes, that is very true. So, it's a bit of a kick in the face, isn't it?
Yeah, and completely changing colours for next season.
It's going to be, yeah. I mean, Alpine. I mean, I'd heard of the car brand of Alpine, but
I thought it was a stereo.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that's true. You know, when you used to be able to put your own headset in cars, didn't there? There was a Alpine, yeah.
But yeah, I wonder why they were choosing that, but yeah.
At least the colour scheme looks interesting.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So is Bottas going to get past Norris now? Well, he's close to him. So, if you're going to vote, you need to vote for Lando. It needs to be vote Lando, not vote Norris.
It turns out you need to actually read what's in the chat to put people's names in rather than just make it up yourself.
We'll do. Hang on.
Right, so if you guys want to go for it.
So you've got Lewis, Bottas, Verstappen, Gasly, Perez, Ricciardo, Stroll, Sainz, Lando, or Albon.
I shall revote. Because I can't read.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of we've got a bit of random trivia for you. In the past 17 races here, the 2009 race is the only time the pole sitter has failed to finish in the top 2. So that's likely to change today unless Steph's prediction comes true. It's a random bit of factoid.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get the second, Duff. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I think so he's got past Latifi.
Yeah, I think, what have we got? Oh, less than 10 laps left now. It's looking less likely, isn't it?
Yeah. They just flashed up on the coverage there. The last win for McLaren was Jenson Button.
Nice.
Always a big fan of Jenson. Always a nice guy.
Brazil 2012. Wow. 8 years ago.
I can remember. Yeah. Dear God. Well, they're due one, aren't they?
Oh, definitely.
1.4 seconds now, right?
Hopefully this is more to come from McLaren as well then.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, they're on pace because the Mercedes, because they were running third and fourth, they were right up there compared to the rest of them.
So here's one for you. Hamilton's steaming through the field. He gets up to 6 behind Bottas. What do Mercedes do?
Oh,
because he's in the lead of the championship. Do they ask Bottas to move aside so Lewis can get through, or do they let them race? Because they've always said they're happy to let them race, but
I don't think he'd listen, would he? If it was me, no way.
I think if Bottas has kind of learnt anything from Nico Rosberg, then he wouldn't move and would fight all the way.
Absolutely. He'd give it him back, because if you're going to beat Lewis, unfortunately, Rosberg isn't quick enough to beat him on his own. He's going to have to employ a bit of mind games, like we just
definitely. Captain Sora says it would likely fall on deaf ears. I think that would be the same for me, definitely.
Right there. I wouldn't listen. I'd be like, no, what's that? Sorry, breaking up.
I'm going through a tunnel.
Well, Amazon have just delivered it by Prime, saying he's striking distance in 1 lap. That's Sainz Gasly.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, he's brought it down to what, 1.5?
1.7. Yeah.
So
give or take.
Not soon. We'll get some DRS.
Yeah, I think that's probably how we'll get past him. Because that Honda engine's got some punch now. It's not like a couple of years ago where you did walk past him.
Yeah, definitely.
A couple of years ago, that McLaren would have had a Honda engine in it, wouldn't it? I suppose.
Yep. They never got on well at all.
No, it's a shame because it's just such an iconic partnership.
Yeah,
historically.
Yeah, it really is.
To be fair, he's in the points.
Yeah. We've got Jez is glad. Jez loves Jensen. Apparently, glad he's doing commentary and broadcasting now. It's good to hear from Jensen. He always that kind of cheeky, friendly chappy. A bit like a modern Johnny Herbert.
Yeah.
That got to win the championship.
Yeah. Well, I was watching the grid walk. Well, it's not really a grid walk anymore. It's a stroll, and
the grid stand.
The grid stand, yeah. And they flashed up the stats, and they said Martin Brundle, 185 races or whatever it was, and so many podiums. And then for Jensen just said 2009 world champion. I thought, yeah, there's a bit of a difference.
We won't put how many races that probably took, but
no. I mean, they were both in different eras, weren't they? I suppose.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how
was
Jensen
it 2000
in the Senna and Prost.
2000 when Button's first season.
Yeah, wasn't he?
I don't know why that just came in my head. Yes.
Yeah. He was in the Williams first, wasn't he? And then BAR, as it was, and then that stupid Earth car. God.
Oh,
the half livery they had.
Yeah.
It looked just
really random.
Stupid.
The BAR had a half and half because it had half Subaru kind of 555 livery.
Yeah, Lucky Strike.
And then half like white, on the other side.
And they also had 2 cars with different liveries, didn't they, as well, at one point when Villeneuve was there.
Yeah.
I think they got told they couldn't do that, which is why they had the half and half, which looked, well, stupid.
Yes.
At the ninth.
But yeah, definitely still better than Was it? Yeah, the Earth car that was just a mishmash
Weird.
of colours.
2,000 Australian, 20 years. God, we are getting. Yep, Captain Sarah. One thing that is certain: we are all getting old. It's,
Oh yes.
good move from Lewis there. I'll give him it. Not that
Ninth.
the pink Mercedes was going to get in his way of mine, was it? If you think about it.
No,
But,
no, definitely not.
there you go, brother. Yes. We're looking there. So next up for him is Mr. Kvyat.
Yep.
He's not that far behind now. He's only 1.6, so that's all
I know.
give or take, isn't it?
4 laps to go.
Come on, Sainz.
Can't see him getting third now. Definitely Bottas is not going to let him pass now if he gets anywhere near close.
6th, he's got a chance. Well, no, because actually Ocon's miles ahead. 8th is probably the best he can hope for now. Because Ocon's 7 seconds ahead of Kvyat.
Yep. Who's their driver of the day?
Oh, I'm not sure. Sainz, yeah, he is 25. It's close to mine, isn't it?
Formula1.com's driver of the day.
Not
with
as good as
Gasly
our
second
poll.
and Hamilton third.
Not as good as our poll and much less accurate, obviously.
I totally agree. And the results of ours have just been released.
Hey, Sainz, good lad.
And it's also Sainz. So, perfect. Once again, we both agree. Our stats and Formula One stats.
So, even if Sainz doesn't win today, that means he's going to win next weekend, doesn't it?
Yeah, perfect.
I'll take that.
Gasly hasn't won yet. That could be the curse there.
He's running out of time now, isn't he, Sainz? 3 laps.
Yeah. Yeah, the gap hasn't kind of dropped significantly. So we could finally get an Italian car winning this weekend, which we never thought we'd get.
If you'd have said to me at the start of the day that that was going to happen, I'd have gone. I said,
and yeah, no McLarens on the podium.
Yeah.
What was it? Isn't it? It's been a pretty. Was it Vettel was the last win here since none of the top 3 teams.
Yes.
Have been on the podium.
Yep, and when he won that race, he was the youngest ever driver at the time.
Yes.
Before you all start pulling out the history books to win a race. Obviously, there's younger ones who have come in since Senna won, but at the particular time, he was the youngest driver. Come on, Carlos, boy. Party mode, whatever. Oh, go on, Lewis, around the outside. He's going to have a go. Yeah. a bit of wheel bashing there, wasn't it?
Hopefully, everyone's watching along. Otherwise, every now and again, you just kind of get randomly silent moments of us going, "Ooh, hang on." All sound effects. Yeah. The sound effects board for this podcast is perfect. Don't worry about that.
It's just me and you going, "Ooh, what?" So I don't know
especially
where you are.
Especially considering our streams are slightly out, so one always goes before the other.
For those that might find this funny, when Charles crashed earlier on, Jez was about 5 seconds ahead, and you go, "Oh!" And I went, "What?" I went, "Oh!" And then 5 seconds later, Duff comes up with a, "Oh!"
I was prepared for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a predictor, isn't it?
I genuinely didn't think it was going to be as big as it was. I knew something had happened, but yeah, and that was a wallop.
It was, wasn't it? To be fair. The heck. 1.2 seconds. He just needs to get into DRS, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's only got another full lap to do it, and that's it.
Yep.
So Gasly could be in for the win. Oh,
I want this win.
Team radio.
Come on, Carlos. That'll be a great thing to do for McLaren.
Oh yeah, he's just come on the radio saying he wants the win.
Yeah, absolutely. So he should do.
Fight, yeah. There's only 1 lap to go. Fight all the way.
There's no problem. There's no
Come on, get that DRS open. Get that DRS open. That'd be great.
DRS.
Yeah, come on, Sykes from Captain Soro as well. Perfect. Get to that DRS zone.
Look at him weaving down the straight then.
Yeah.
I mean, he's entitled to do it, obviously, but still, you do. The latest
trying to
goal,
stop the slipstream, isn't he?
It's a draw.
That's the key.
the latest F1 poll is 24% each for Sainz and Gasly.
Oh wow! So that wasn't. Oh, okay. It's still going.
Yeah, that was an
not.
update.
I thought that was finalised.
I did as well, but they just put it back up now. Go on, Sainz.
Yeah.
Oh,
come on, get that DRS open and fly past.
The whole
So
of Formula
close.
1 is wanting you to win this. Sainz.
Oh, last of the late breakers there. There's no way he was going to get that.
No. I was hoping for a little mistake or a little bit of a squeaky bum moment, perhaps from Gasly.
Who would have thought after what we've had this season, we'd be down to a last lap battle between Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz?
But how great is it? How great is it?
It's great. I mean, Hamilton's just worked his way up to 7th now from 15th.
Did he get that? That was 3 seconds. Maybe even more. Jeez. Well, you got to give him credit for coming back, I suppose. But
oh yeah, definitely.
Credit where credit's
considering Bottas hasn't changed from 5th over the last 10 laps, and Lewis has charged through from 15th. I mean, some of them, like Perez and that, would have pulled over, but
yeah, they're not fighting too much, are they? You can understand why. It's a little bit like when sort of Senna or sort of Schumacher appeared in people's windows. They just get out of the way.
Yeah.
And there it is.
You know he's going to pass at some point, so just get out of the way and let him continue.
I wonder what odds you would have got on that result this morning, Duff. If you'd gone into the bookies and said, all right, this is the result, Gasly, Sainz, Stroll, Norris. They'd have gone, how much do you want to bet? The odds on that, wow. But you got to say, fair play to Gasly for a young lad. He held on to it well. He didn't panic or do anything wrong. And AlphaTauri showing up the big sister team. Well.
Yeah, great to see.
Where did Albon finish in the end? 15th. Wow. It's not good at all.
No.
Not good at all. I mean, if you think they're going to have to put someone in there, because I think they've just got no one back in that Max, are they? That's the trouble.
No, not at all.
It's hard to play the team game in terms of strategy.
250 to 1 Gasly was for winning this race.
Oh, imagine you whacked a tenner on that, Duff. The beers will be on
Bottas. I know the odds update during, but I mean, Bottas was 200 to 1.
God. That is impressive.
Yeah.
Pierre Gasly, the 109th Grand Prix winner. Thank you to Sky for that random factoid. Most appreciated. Look, he's probably
Gasly wins driver of the day.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's fair. I mean, whoever won out of those two should deserve to win it, I suppose. But it's wow, what a turn up for the books that is. Let's have a quick run through, see where everyone else finished up. So we had Bottas finished 5th in the end, ahead of Danny Rick. I like Danny Rick. Lewis got himself up to 7th, so I was only one off. That's not bad. Kvyat 9th, which is bad considering the other car won. Perez in the pink Mercedes 10th. Race really.
Yeah,
I
think it was strategy for them that did it.
Look who was 11th as well.
Yeah,
Mr. Latifi himself, one place away from the points for Williams.
It's a shame he couldn't get in there.
That would have been good. And so Kimi went from 2nd to 13th eventually in the end.
Yeah, just no power in that car at all. No power whatsoever.
Yeah, it's obviously got the Ferrari engine in, which is a bad start for anybody. I think this year, isn't it? And it doesn't look good.
It'll be interesting what they do next season as well, whether they try and create a better engine knowing that it's going to be all different the year after.
I guess the engine's the same though, isn't it? They're not changing the engines in 2021, so they can...
It's true. It's just do Ferrari develop it knowing that it's a complete bag of shite?
Yeah, whether they start from scratch again, which I believe they do.
Because it's is it a waste of money and put more of that into 2022?
Yeah, I think because it's like a different sort of chassis, the engine might not actually fit in the 2021 car. So perhaps you're better off saying, right, let's build the car around the engine, but make sure the engine is bloody good.
Yeah.
And maybe do it that way. Yeah. Captain Sarah, you must remember to bet next time. I assume you mean bet, not bid. And
Oh no, bid on Gasly.
oh, Gasly, right?
I might bid on Sainz next race if this if our poll is anything to go by.
Well, like I said earlier on, they were there on raw pace. To be fair to them, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's happy boy, and he quite rightly so. So I'm waiting for the Lewis moan now because that's obviously going to come. Even though he's done well to get back, he'll still.
Well, it's already come, hasn't it? He was moaning during the red flag, going to the stewards to moan.
I've never seen that before, and if I have to watch him on that stupid scooter again, I'm going to wrap it around him. Now, there's all sorts of things you could be showing. You could be showing them taking the car to bits, all the different stuff that's going on with the drivers and strategy. I know. Let's watch Lewis Hamilton go down and pit on a flipping scooter for 10 minutes. That's great TV. Well done, Sky. Thank you.
Scooter racing. Brilliant.
Now, you see, that'd be all right if they were all doing scooter races down the pit lane during the stop.
Surely, if there's a red flag, what they should do is all just get remote control cars out and continue the race for a couple of laps.
Yeah, just have a little track around the pit lane. Yeah. That'd be hilarious.
Miniature version of the circuit, and we'll be well away. To be fair, 11th, really good result for Claire, who's her last race this weekend. Yeah. That is it. No more Williams family in Formula One.
I think you've got to bring that level of change in, haven't you, sadly? And,
yes. It's not been a great few years for him.
No. Sky had a 10-minute sort of chat with her before the race. Yeah. And they put up a load of videos of all their best moments and stuff and the rest of it as a team. And let's just say there weren't many of the past 4 years where those clips were from. No. I think they had a couple of thirds in her first season, didn't they? And
I think
that's it.
Formula One is getting very much like EPL, like English soccer, where if your team isn't owned by a conglomerate of billionaires, then
you're in trouble.
Or a factory team, then you're going to struggle.
I mean, Williams have won this race 6 times. To be fair, the last one was in 2001. And, so it's a fair way away, isn't it? Success for them, and but let's hope with some renewed in investment and everything else that we can see them back at the front.
See them fighting. That would be great. It's great now that we've got McLaren back and fighting.
I've been
to have McLaren and Williams back up there fighting would be great.
And it was painful to see him dragging around in the back, wasn't it? Or at least it was for me. I hated it.
God, yes, yeah.
But now they're back up at the front. Things are going.
I think with the Concord agreement being signed and with the rule changes, I think it's made Formula One more of a thing that people are happy to buy into, and hopefully more sponsors, and it's going to be something that people are going to watch and put money into.
Because you could, in theory, go racing with 108 million quid for a year.
Yeah.
I think what I'd like to see is maybe some of the Formula 2 teams have a stab at it, like Carlin or Prima and stuff like that, and say, right, okay, we've done Formula 2. Now we can probably afford it. Because I would have thought that Formula 2 budget is probably 50, 60 million, I think, somewhere around there.
Was it 145 million is the cap?
Yeah, euros, yeah.
Yeah.
So you could say, well, you could go, right, okay, if we get a significant sponsor on board, which shouldn't be too hard to do in Formula 1, then you could go for it, which would be nice to see. I think we do need some more teams. Because if you had another couple of teams, so 12 is the limit, isn't it? But we've currently got 10.
Yes.
So another 2 would be good.
Yes, $145 million, so about £108 million.
Yeah. Which I'm going to say something that sounds stupid. It isn't a lot of money in Formula 1 terms. Obviously, it is in life and everything else, but in Formula 1 terms, that's not a lot of money.
Not considering, was it 333 million Mercedes spent to win the 2019 championship?
Yeah, that was their budget. So to even get people like them to sort of agree to the budget cap, because they've got more than half it, haven't they? To come down to the 108. That's it. It just makes it affordable. I mean, what we don't want is teams come in and go in every single year. But if a couple can get in, like Haas, for example, they came in, and yes, they bought some parts off Ferrari, but they came in with a reasonable budget.
Yeah.
And they're still here. Unlike teams like HRT or Virgin or teams like that were failing to qualify, let alone have the money to ever compete. So no, definitely the way forward is the budget cap.
Okay. In an interview in April this year, Jean Todt, head of the FIA, said that he was looking to introduce a $50 million budget cap to Formula 2.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's probably around 60-70 is probably what there's been 10 different winners in Formula 2 that it shows how competitive that is already. In fact, Mick Schumacher won yesterday, didn't he?
No, I've read that completely wrong.
Okay,
it was if there was going to be a shortened season because of COVID, they would do a small formula with only a 50 million budget. Okay. So yeah, I've read that completely wrong, and there's no surprise there then, as I couldn't read in the chat earlier. So that was perfect. 2 instances now of me not reading properly.
Well, pardon me, I know we touched on it earlier with sort of Ferrari and them giving us some action today with their 2 crashes, but just one of my random trivias. This weekend was their lowest qualifying at Monza since 1984, when Michele Alboreto qualified pretty much last. So
wow,
it shows how far they've fallen.
Yes, very much so. It's a good job that it's not their own personal track next week where they can really be shown up.
Oh no, they wouldn't do that, would they? That'd be daft. as if they'd be stupid enough to race on their own personal track when they're doing rubbish.
I know.
Yeah. Don't forget to join us next week for Mugello, by the way.
Yeah, it'd be nice to go back there.
Interesting race. I mean, it's normally superbikes that are racing there, isn't it? There's not been a Formula 1 race there for quite a while.
That's the one good thing about this season. Well, like we've got Mugello, we've got Turkey coming back.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder if some seasons we kind of have rotating circuits.
Yeah.
Because I know Germany, with their own circuits, usually do rotating circuits.
Yeah, which in the Nürburgring and Hockenheim each year.
It's. I think it really is a shame that when we had like the 2 Austrian and the 2 British Grand Prix, we didn't say have Silverstone and Brands Hatch or something.
Yeah.
Or Silverstone and Donington, or we've got some great tracks in the UK.
Oh yeah. I think the last one that wasn't at Silverstone was at Brands Hatch, actually. I think, wasn't it? The European Grand Prix. They had a few.
Yeah.
We're talking many years ago now, I think.
Oh, yes.
That was either Brands Hatch or Donington, one of the 2.
Yeah, because there was talk about, was it 7 or 8 years ago, of actually having Donington as an F1 circuit instead of Silverstone.
Yeah, there was. And I think they actually started redeveloping parts of the circuit, the Dunlop curves and all that. Then I think money became the usual issue, as it is with everything in Formula 1. And sadly, that fell through. That would be one of the shortest laps on the calendar, I would have thought, around there.
Yeah. Jez would love the Brands Hatch again because it's near him.
Yeah, that'd be good for Jez. We could all go to Brands Hatch. That would be interesting.
Do a live podcast from the track.
Well, it has been discussed. It would be pretty funny. That'd be good.
Get the little the Effing F1 Show booth.
You would join us literally live.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So some other bits of news, I guess, that we've put down for on our notes is I saw an advert this morning for there's a new series on Netflix, like a fictional drama of the life and career of Ayrton Senna, which is gone into production. That's out there in a year or so's time. It should be good. It's a 8-part mini series.
Yeah, that sounds great.
look forward to that. I mean, I'm sure most of us have seen the Senna film. It's an excellent watch. To be fair.
that's unbelievable.
And I guess this will be an elongated version, but more about the sort of personal side and the racing side mixed into it as well. And, did you watch the behind the scenes thing the Netflix did for the past 2 years?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was. They've done similar things with like American football, and I think there was one with like was at Man City, and they've lots of sports have done a similar kind of thing. But, yeah, that was a good series. It's always nice to see what you don't get to see on a race weekend.
Yeah, mainly Gunter Steiner swearing from what I saw of it.
Oh, and it was nothing but. I don't think he knows any other English words.
He does come across as a nice chap. Oh, this is different. They've got a fan wall rather than the usual clapping ladies. It's different.
Oh, yes.
Normally there's
must be odd on that podium, stuck out over the track, staring at empty grandstands.
Yeah,
because this is probably one of the best podiums.
Oh yeah,
to kind of be out and towards the fans. But yeah, definitely. At least the teams are there.
That's true. I mean, there's been some sort of amazing shots. Feel like Ferrari have won, and then the Tifosi fled the circuit, and all you can see is red.
Yeah, and it's just noise. You can barely hear anything else.
It's even louder than Crofty, and that just takes some doing, doesn't it? And, to be fair. What else we got in the news? Oh, obviously Ted is back today. For those of you who watched us watched us last week, you know we're massive Ted Kravitz fans. It's been nice to have some decent insight back on the coverage.
They've got it's odd though, because usually you just go, okay, and we're now going down to Ted. But at the moment they're going down to Ted, or they're going down to Karun, and then randomly we had that's a good one. The Scottish guy as well.
Oh, Paul de Resta.
Paul de Resta, that's it. And then random bits in from him. But then videos earlier were all done by interviewed by David Coulthard.
Yeah, no, see, I always thought they had this golden rule about the Channel 4 and Sky not being seen on each other's streams or shows and that, and because like when sort of Martin first started doing the grid walk and it was on the Beeb or it was on like Channel 4, you'd see them purposely avoiding each other and going the opposite way or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes they'd stick a mic into someone's interview and you'd catch a soundbite of it, but yeah, you don't normally see it as blatant as that, yeah.
Or he'd just push in front because he knew they weren't live.
Yeah, there's that as well. Oh, some of those moments. When he there was that German lady that works for RTL, and he just barged in front of her, and the look on her face was like,
yes, because she's
you a new one.
She works for Sky Germany now for it. Martina.
Yes,
and he's
Martina,
still her, even though they work for the same channel.
They had her on Sky Sports News the other day. Actually,
yes.
They were doing a piece like a preview for the race. I was just flicking through the channels. And I thought, I recognise you, and I put it on for a bit. And she was talking about it. It was quite an informative piece, to be fair.
I've never noticed that giant F1 logo on the top of the podium before.
Is it?
That is just like half the podium is just a massive F1 logo.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think that's probably the first like full Liberty Media season. So look at that.
That's nice.
That is huge.
It's very green as well.
Yes.
It's Heineken for you. Not that I would promote Heineken 0%, but Heineken normal percent is quite nice. Unless you're driving, of course, folks. Never drink and drive.
No.
If you're not driving, you can enjoy very nice Heineken. And I'm not on commission.
I was at the weekend. Lovely, nice pint of Heineken. I hear you might have had a dram or two last night.
Might have visited a place that served ice cold liquid refreshment for a couple of hours yesterday. Yes.
Jez didn't know that there was the Formula One Drive to Survive 2 seasons on Netflix.
Yes. It's
How
well worth a watch.
Yeah, that's another thing to add to your list, Jez, that you've got to watch. Yeah. Hopefully, you can find some time to fit that all in.
You can just add it to his endless list of things to watch. Probably is what he needs to do, because I'm sure there's a pretty big list. What other points did we have down here, Diff? Oh, yes. Do you think that that Sainz would have passed him if he'd had a Merc in the back of that McLaren?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, me too. And it's
the worst thing is,
point.
Poor Sainz is now doing really well. I mean, other than the last race where we couldn't even start, but he's doing really, really well, really, really well. And the team he's going to next year is going further and further down the back of the grid.
He must be thinking to himself, "Oh dear, that's not good." Yeah, I mean, it's every driver's dream, or most of the drivers' dreams, isn't it, to go and drive for Ferrari?
Has he done an Alonso?
Yeah. Oh well. You would have to say at a minute that he has. He's sending himself to the back of the grid, or isn't he?
Especially because it's what, a 1-year contract for this interim year in between changing basically the whole of Formula One. So,
I mean, what Ferrari could do, they could just be sticking Sainz in there for a year, and then they stick Mr. Schumacher in there for 2021, and he's out on his backside, isn't he?
Yeah. Then you're gonna want. I see 2021 being quite. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of different drivers on the grid, and I don't know if Sainz is going to find himself a place. I think the only reason Hulk is in next year is because it's now a transition season. That's why most people's contracts were up this year.
Yeah, because originally the 2022 relations should have been coming in next year, shouldn't they? So that's
yeah.
That sent the driver market a bit loopy.
Yes, definitely,
season, didn't it? I think they'll be. I still think Lewis will be there. I think Alonso, if he has a reasonable season next year, will probably give it another go. I think he signed a 2-year contract, isn't he, Alonso?
Yeah.
I think so that he'll still be there. Will Vettel still be there in new regulations? I'm less sure of that one. I think possibly not. But then I'm pretty sure Kimi won't be either.
No. I think it's not only a transition period for the cars and the rules. I think we're in a transition period for drivers as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of out with the old and in with the new. Because I mean, look at them all today.
Yeah, so if you think about it, there
isn't one driving really well.
And the nearest sort of established old boy, if you want to call it that, is Bottas, who was 5th.
Yeah.
And then you got Ricciardo,
and he wasn't even really battling anyone.
No, it's weird. That was, I don't know what. Well, something to do with the cooling. I would looks of it. But then even you go down to 8th, it was Ocon, 9th, Kvyat. So they're the younger drivers again that are all up there. And, I think that Max might have got himself back up there if he hadn't crashed. That's why had to retire. But I don't think he would have won it.
No,
because he wasn't exactly setting the world alight when he was racing, was he? He was
no. The Red Bull have really struggled this weekend. Really struggled.
Which is weird. It's a power circuit which they've got. You need good aero, which they've got. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, if you think about it, the AlphaTauri is pretty much a Red Bull, and that's just won the race.
Yeah, exactly.
With the same engine as well.
Yep. Yeah. It's really odd what they struggled with, but I think we've probably determined who's going to be sat in the Red Bull alongside Verstappen next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's going to be Gasly again after this performance. I know a lot of different things led to it, but it was the same with Vettel.
Yeah,
a lot of things led to that, and he went up. So
interesting to see whether they put Albon back into the AlphaTauri or whether they bin him off.
I think for them that they need to bin them both off, him and Kvyat.
Yeah,
he had his time in the Red Bull as well, and really didn't do a lot.
No, he's never really done it for me, to be honest. He's a bit of a hothead as well. I just don't think he's got it.
He always seemed to be. He would always blame someone else.
Yeah, it would always be someone else's fault, or so and so did this, or so and so did that, or.
I have noticed one thing so far on the TV stream. No one's had an interview with Lewis yet.
Oh, they won't, will they? He'll be off having a tantrum somewhere. And...
He'll be off scootering around somewhere.
That's because they can't catch him because he's got a electric scooter now, so he's just done a runner. Lewis, no, sorry, Mummy scooter. Off he goes. I
think, can't catch me. No.
He has to do it eventually. But,
yeah.
So they just show this replay again now, and I'm still. So there's the safety car light. You can see that SC. Yep. That's on the board. And then he comes on the next corner, and that board says
massive
SC
big red cross.
It's not. It's a don't drink and drive sign there.
Oh no. The cross is what would normally be on the safe. On the you'd usually have the yellow flashing light while they're holding out the safety car board, but instead you've got that red cross.
Oh, I see. I'm with you. Okay.
So he parked 2 of them as well, which is quite a big no-no.
And fine. I'm happy. To be honest, that made the race though, didn't it? Because then suddenly we had an actual race.
Yeah. Equally with that, I mean, I know you can say fair enough, it's Lewis's fault. He should have seen 2 boards, but equally the team would have had it up on their screens.
Oh yeah, the team will be getting an earful, I would have thought, from him tonight.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, that they should.
They love replaying that crash. Oh.
And that Marshall nearly getting his head chopped off when the car comes out.
Yep.
Yeah, that was dangerous. It's dangerous.
And everywhere. I love it. The 3 guys at the back leg it away, and the guy at the front's legging it to the car. And that, just that single wheel left in there, still smoking away. It's mad.
You get to some serious temperatures, only like 600-700 degrees. Those brakes.
To be fair, looking at this restart, I think Stroll did fairly well because he lost 2 or 3 places on that restart, and to be fair, he lost it to Kimi, who ended up 8 places back, but he had to fight for some of it.
Yeah, I mean. Pardon me. Once Sainz got past him, it was clear Sainz had the legs, wasn't it? I guess. But,
yes.
But so obviously Norris couldn't get past him either. So
he managed to at least defend and hold it.
Yeah, and that's fair enough, isn't it? That's it. I mean, I'm happy with 1 papaya-coloured car on the podium. 2 would have been nice, but 1 will do.
Yeah. Oh yes.
See, they're interviewing Andreas Seidel or Seidel, however you want to pronounce it. He's been a large part of the turnaround at McLaren, I think, with his engineering changes. He used to work for the Porsche Le Mans team, apparently.
Oh, and they've been just on it for the last 4 or 5 years constantly, haven't they? They've kind of, other than like Audi, they've been properly on it, the Porsche team. I think wasn't Mark Webber driving for them at one point, the Porsche Le Mans team?
I think he was, actually, yeah. I think he was. Yeah.
There's always a Formula 1 connection somewhere.
There is. He just seems to have made him more sort of professional and more...
less haphazard.
Yeah, you don't tend to see him making stupid strategy calls like you did a few years ago and all the rest of it. Everything seems more polished.
Yes.
And
it shows, it's odd, isn't it, in Formula 1, how something as small as that can have such a difference.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's pardon me. It's good to see him celebrating and happy and the rest of it. Look at that. There we go.
Well, you better get used to it. There's going to be none next year.
Well, yes. I think Carlos, I mean, I know we've touched on it, but he's got to be kicking himself. I certainly would be.
It seemed like a good move at the time, though. Seemed like a really good move at the time.
That's what I was just going to say. I mean, at the time, he must have thought, yes, I've made it. I'm going to Ferrari. And then the season starts and shit. That's not going well.
Yeah. And we touched on it earlier, but speaking of next year, we've got the not necessarily a new team, but a rebrand.
Yes.
From Renault, becoming a Alpine with a kind of French tricolor color of the blue, white, and red.
It looks like an inch. I always like it when a new livery comes out, or there's something different. So I think it's a positive thing.
And we don't kind of have a light blue, or have we got a blue at all on the grid? I'm trying to think. Now that Toro Rosso have gone kind of.
Oh yeah, they've gone white and grey, haven't they?
White and red.
And, no, there isn't anything blue.
No blue on the grid. So
I mean, Red Bull is kind of a dark blue, isn't it? I guess, but it's not really blue as such.
It's hard to see the color under all that sponsorship.
Yeah, they do well for sponsorship, don't they? To be fair to them. And they had that special paint. Do you remember that? Was it two or 3 years ago? They came out with this special paint that made the car look kind of matte, but it was apparently less friction.
Yes. Almost like a shark skin style. Yeah,
must be worth 100th of a second. Probably not even that, but they paid the money for it, and away they go.
And they had what was it in testing when they had the camouflage?
Yes,
so people so you couldn't see the new parts on the car, and
it looked like a zebra, didn't it? With like sort of black and white curves and bends and stuff on it, so you couldn't see what was going on. There. Oh, I see Lewis is turned up for his moan. Can you hear him?
Yes.
I can probably put the words into his mouth. I'm disappointed that the team called me into the pits knowing the pit lane was closed. But I did my best for the team to get it back. That's probably what he's saying. And then he'll moan about the fact. And
just say hello to Monster X Game and 652. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for the follow to the Jez Show Network as well.
Absolutely. Welcome. So, well, that's very true. I think if I'd have missed the whole race and someone had given me a piece of paper with the result on, I'd have told him to jog on. So
yeah. But how? Yeah, like you say, how refreshing is it to see that other teams racing and actually have a chance and having a go at it? Is absolutely brilliant.
That's what Formula One how it should be. Like we said earlier on. I mean, whilst I was watching the race, and this is what I want my Formula One to be. I want it to be different winners every week. I want it to be close. I want to be thinking, is he going to catch him? Is he going to catch him? Is he going to go forward? And hopefully it bodes well for the rest of the season.
Yes, definitely.
Sure.
Hopefully this is kind of more of what 2022 is going to be like.
Yeah. Well, these new wings and rules and stuff.
More, wheel-to-wheel racing, which would be great. And hopefully it doesn't take a massive crash to give us some good racing.
Another good point there from Monster X, and I'm great, by the way. Thank you for asking. When Williams' team's almost get a point, there's something changed drastically. Yeah, I mean Latifi, he was there. He wasn't there on pure pace, obviously, because they wouldn't be 11th. But he drove a good race. He kind of decent strategy.
He held
as
that
well.
position as well.
He did, yeah, he did.
It wasn't
because he was
just
12th.
Throwing it away, yeah.
I think it was 12th, and then because I said, if we had that's right, because we were going to sacrifice 2 cars to get him a point, weren't we? So he must have passed someone as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. And it's like we said earlier, it's nice to see them doing well on Claire's last race.
Yeah, I bet there'll be a party tonight at Williams.
Yeah. Not as big as there will be at AlphaTauri.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
even McLaren.
Yeah, absolutely. They should be celebrated. I mean, sort of looking at like sort of Danny Rick there, who I assume is smiling behind his mask because he's always smiling. He's got the opposite of science, isn't he? He's lucked in some ways.
Are you sure you're not Monster X Gamer as well? Because he's just come up with exactly the same point as you did, saying that he hopes Stroll would crash because he hates paid drivers.
Yes, exactly that. Yes.
That was our sentiments as well. Exactly.
Yeah. Daddy can buy you a trophy, just go away.
It's mad when Daddy has to buy you a Formula One team.
Oh dear me.
But to be fair, that was down to the strategists.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can't predict a crash, but perfect. That worked out really, really well.
I mean, I guess the flip side of the coin is that if it was your dad, Duff, that owned a Formula One team, and he said, "Go on, son," you go, "Yep, all right."
They'd need a lot wider car to fit me in, I tell you. But I'd definitely give it a go. Definitely give it a go.
Absolutely.
I don't know if the beard's aerodynamic enough. No F1 driver really has a beard.
I think that. I mean, I doubt we'd even get it out to the pits, would we?
If it's anything like my karting career, I can qualify well, but when it comes to the race start, I just lose places.
That's because we have a little bit of a weight loss to get us going.
Momentum in corners, perfect, but getting off the line, it's not happening.
Absolutely. So I mean, looking ahead to next race then for Mugello, more of the same. Do you think?
I'd like to think so. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be McLaren one, Mercedes 1-2.
Yeah,
unless there's maybe just because we haven't raced there in a very long time, it might be a bit more chaotic. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be back to normal, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But at least we can maybe hope for sort of McLaren and Renault and Pink Mercedes battle behind that, and we'll just watch that. We'll let those two carry on.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
And still no points for Kimi, absolute legend, apparently in the chat. We at one point we thought it'd be great to see him up there, but maybe next week.
Yes, and speaking of next week, I think we're going to call it quits there. But make sure that you come back and watch us again next week at Mugello. Be the same deal. We'll jump on for the last 20 or so laps, and Monster X Gaming, come and watch with us. Give it a share as well for anyone else that's watching, and hopefully we will see you all again next week.
And don't forget to watch the other items on the Jez show. Absolutely. This week. We've got 2-minute warning for the NFL tomorrow night, and then if you like some retro games, there's that at the end of the week. I normally would be streaming, but I think I'm going to be streaming a lot more over the next 2 weeks, as I have absolutely nothing to do in quarantine. But as it'll be such an odd difference, it'll be daytime on twitch.tv Duff Valley. But yeah, I think that's it from us.
Yeah, and have a great rest of your Sunday, folks, and see you all next week. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.